Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of Critical Capture. Rhiannon and I had some free time and she really needs something to do so that she can procrastinate from doing her homework. So, we're going to review some photos for you. Today we've got Chris's roll, which he shot during Active Capture episode 4 in the Santa Rosa Laguna. So we're going to take a quick look at some of these. We're going to make some comments on some of them, others we may just breeze past, but we definitely are not going to spend as long doing these as we did in the first episode. So let's get right into it.
Yep.
The tree. It's a good start. I like this one.
I like it too. I mean, all of the photos we scan in pretty flat, right?
Yeah.
So I usually just bump up the contrast, and I think that helped this one quite a bit because it looks really nice with the black over the white sky.
Yeah, definitely. We do scan in our photos very flat because scanning in the photos flat brings in as much detail as we can possibly get, but it doesn't represent the look of the actual film. So the best thing to do in that case is just, drop it into something like Photoshop or GIMP, bump that contrast back up to get the look of the original photo. So did a good job with that. I see the composition here. It's unfortunate. I thought Chris was going to get more reflection in those pools of water. They were certainly more visible in real life than they are in the photo, but that's just the way, Overall, it's a good shot. The off into the distance one, it's good.
I like it.
It's standard, it seems kind of standard. I like the house. I like how the house is offset from the path, and the path isn't in the dead center of the photo.
I also kind of like the plants on the side of the path. I don't know why, actually.
And I'm glad he stood off to the side of the path rather than taking it from the middle.
The middle of the path,
which is good. It makes
the composition is good.
Yeah, it's a good composition. Chris kind of excelled with composition, especially for his first episode. So, good photo.
I like this one a lot.
I like this one too because you can see the ground.
Yeah,
the rows, and it definitely has a lot of depth to it. The mountains in the background actually look like that. That isn't a quality of the film. I see them all the time living out here.
Because you were there and I wasn't, so.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, driving around Santa Rosa, Sonoma County, the mountains in the distance always kind of have that hazy look to them. So he captured that well. That was actually captured well. That's what they really look like. And these weird trees up here in the corner, those were weird. They were as weird in real life as they were in the photo. Yeah, but they do add some interest, and we'll see a couple slides down that looked equally kind of weird. He wanted to get closer, but we didn't end up taking that path.
Yeah. This one I feel like gets a little lost.
Yeah, this one failed. I saw what he was seeing, because again, I was there, but I saw what he was trying to take a photo of, and it just didn't really come out. It's a little underexposed. The sky's flat and kind of boring. It just looks like mud. So I'd probably let this one go.
I could see, even though I wasn't there, what he was thinking, because the water in front of whatever is in the back, but I don't know. It's just kind of similar shades of gray, so.
Yeah, there's not a
even
wide,
with, the contrast
wide range.
Boost, it just kind of
Still is flat, for sure.
This one could have been cool, just a little blurry.
Yeah, out of focus. I think it was just a focusing issue more than anything else. It doesn't look like camera shake to me, so I think he just missed focus. And he caught something in the corner there, too. I'm not really sure what that is, but it was a good attempt.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the reflections and stuff, so if you just took it again with the focus on
it had a lot of potential for sure.
Yeah.
So he was really excited about this one, but also kind of just came out
shaky.
It's just a little shaky. It's a little flat. I just want to see more contrast. It was so bright when he was taking these two, and that really kills contrast.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, and the sun was directly overhead. He was definitely shooting in some challenging shooting conditions. So the fact that he walked away with anything, I still find impressive. But again, he has better ones.
Is this the one where the little person was in? No.
Is it?
I can't tell.
Let's take a look.
There's a person in the back of one of these. No, I think it might be the next one.
Yeah, we'll check the next one. But yeah, there was definitely a creeper in one of these photos here. So this is the creeper photo.
Yeah, and this one looks kind of similar to the last one, but a lot more in focus.
Yeah, this is
a
the
nice
better photo
picture,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, and here he is
Yeah.
creeping. It looks like he's staring directly at us. You can see the limbs kind of come down from the sides and like his legs
It's almost
start.
like a small, short and stout Slender Man.
Yeah, it's like a short and stout slender man. It's creepy, weird.
Yeah.
It's probably not even a person.
Maybe not. Yeah,
I
could have
don't
been
know.
one of those weird trees.
Yeah, good photo.
Yeah, I like the reflection in the water,
Mhm.
and I think the water is like really nice compared to the path. But
Yeah.
they kind of go in the same direction.
Yeah,
so
and it
that's
kind of
cool.
splits the photo into
Yeah.
sections. It's like water,
Mhm.
grass, path. So
Definitely. So
it's a nice aesthetic to that one.
yeah. The people.
Chris's sneaky photo. I think this is the first candid photo that's ever been taken on active capture of like two people. You tried to get the one of the
and
couple.
It came out really.
Shaky because it
But
was so
it was
dark.
dark,
But
yeah.
Chris nailed this one. I wish the scenery around them looked a little different, but it was
Yeah.
the Laguna. I mean, it's just
I think if it was in color, it could have been cool.
yeah, definitely.
Just
would
because
have been
they
a nice
blend
photo
in
in
a
color.
tiny
But
bit,
I there's things to say about it. It's
Yeah.
like the couples walking together in the journey of life through the
Little.
thickets of hell. I don't know.
I like his white pants too.
Yeah,
That
the white pants
stands
and the
out.
white hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it's good. Maybe if he was a
Yeah.
little closer to them, but he's also
That's-
working in manual, so
And creepy.
yeah, it took some time. He was definitely creeping on that one.
Yeah.
This
that
one,
was the worst of the two.
yep, the worst of the two. So we're just gonna skip this and go to the one that looked
Yeah.
pretty good.
Just in these ones, it, like especially the other one, it got a little lost because there's so much detail. I think.
Yeah, I
And
wish
it's
that
all,
Chris
like,
had just
similar.
filled the frame with the texture of the bent grass
Uh-huh.
rather than including the tree line in the background.
Yeah.
I don't think we
But
need to see that.
I like in this one, it kind of has that layer thing too.
Yeah.
Because it's like the front pile almost,
Mhm.
and then like the background grass behind it, and
Mhm.
then the trees. So
Yeah, and I like
That's
the
nice.
shadows from the trees above us
yeah, that is nice.
laying out on the grass, and then the grass is casting its own shadows, so I think that adds some depth too. Overall, it's a
definitely.
cool texture.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's a sign.
You guys keep calling it Santa Rosa Laguna de Santa Rosa.
Yeah, it's just so many words.
I think it's nice. It's a sign, but
It's okay. There's a trash can in it and a doggy bag dispenser, and
yeah,
the composition's a little whacked out.
maybe if it was like, I don't know, on the side more,
Yeah.
so we like kind of excluded.
If I was
those.
taking this photo, I would have gotten much closer to the sign, and maybe the path going off
Uh-huh.
behind the sign in the background would have looked
Yeah.
good. So would have tried that, but
Mhm.
it's exposed correctly. So
Yeah.
it's a photo.
So Chris's big tree.
Chris's big tree photo. It's good. I like the big tree. The composition is pretty good, and there's definitely the texture he was going for in the shot. So
Yeah. Again, I didn't really edit this one very much and up the contrast because it got rid of a lot of the detail. So
yeah.
it's pretty spot on to what the film actually looks like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Just get the top of the tree in there for everyone. So yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I like it. And again, the sky like being all white-ish or light gray makes it stand out a little more.
Yeah.
Because at the bottom it gets a little lost with all the thicket stuff. But yeah,
Yep.
you in the
So
path.
picture of me. Yep. I was sitting there. I actually left the camera recording on the bench. I like this picture. I'm obviously
it.
I'm biased, but it's of just the photos that Chris took, this was one of the better ones.
Yeah, and the trees are really nice in it. I
Yeah,
think.
there's great trees. All the trees are different shades,
Mhm.
so there's a good diverse
Yeah.
scale of shading kind of
And then
going
the
on
path
there.
Again, isn't like, I don't know. He's not like super centered in it, but
Yeah,
so I like this one.
yeah, it's good.
It's
And,
also nice to have like again another person in it. I guess just it gives it something to like focus on.
yeah.
A bit. This one's a little mucky.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a
Just
little
the
lost.
muck like
I
the
think
other
it's
ones.
just the swamp thing. that
Yeah,
you
they're
guys
just
were at.
busy.
Like,
they're busy photos. I think and not that I'm ever going back here, because I'm not. It was horrible. But if I ever had to go back here, I think that I would probably try to get more intimate photographs of smaller things, rather than going for these big landscapes, because they're just so busy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's another one.
The worst of those
dark
two.
and blurry.
This
These things were cool,
yeah.
And I definitely need to take a second to kind of explain this to everyone who's watching, because it, all these trees had grass that I'm assuming blew into the trees, and then the trees caught them, and then they caught more and more and more, and they started turning into these big like nests of grass wrapped around these trees. And in this area where we found this particular tree, there were dozens and dozens of trees that had grass wrapped around them, all in the same direction. It looked like an explosion went off and like blew the grass into the trees. So it was really cool, and I think Chris did a good job capturing kind of what we were seeing there. Maybe if there were more than just the one tree, it might have had more of an effect. But I love the detail of the grass and straw in the tree and on the branches. So.
And like you said with the other picture, I feel like it could have gotten a little busy if you focused on more than one tree. So like.
Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. So, I do like that it's like darker, like the contrast is high. But I kind of wish it was the opposite way. Like the dark was in the background and it was lighter. But
yeah.
I mean, just how the shadow was.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do that.
Yeah,
I think it was.
It's not like.
I think that's a result of just the sun being directly overhead. If we had shot this at a different time of day, perhaps that would look different.
But yeah, and maybe that's just something to keep in mind for our next episodes, going earlier or later.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. This one was taken right next to Chevron, which was like 2 feet to the right. I mean, out of this photo, it's like right there. But it's just some old stuff that Chris saw and took a photo of it.
Yeah. Again, this one, like, I wanted to kind of make more contrasted so you could see the objects more.
Brandon is saying that, by the way, everyone, because she edits. She does almost all of the editing for the show. So.
Yeah. But again, like, I wanted to up in the contrast to make the object show more, but then it lost some of the detail, and I felt like the tree on the left kind of like looked weird when it was all dark. So it was just like, like, where is this tree going? So, but yeah, again, I think just the theme of most of these pictures is a little busy.
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool, like, structures in the photo.
Yeah, and this might really do it for somebody that's watching right now. You guys might love busy photos. I like more minimalist stuff, so I try to look for minimalist stuff when I'm shooting. But there are people who like busy photos. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a great example of that. I love this photo. This is my favorite that Chris took the entire time we were shooting together.
He's really good at taking pictures of the cameras.
Yeah.
Because when the picture of me.
Yep, with the camera as well, yeah. And he did this totally when I was not paying attention really at all. And I saw him focusing the camera, and he was holding the camera rig. So I whipped out my cell phone at the last second just to get a shot of him taking this picture. And I had no idea what he was taking a picture of. I thought he was just taking a picture of the back of my camera.
Like,
I didn't.
Okay, what are you doing?
I didn't know that he was taking a picture of the reflection until we had developed the roll. So that was a nice surprise.
It came out really cool, and it's definitely like interesting and unique.
Yeah.
You don't see pictures that are reflections in cameras of cameras.
Using a camera as a reflector is definitely unique. I've not seen that before. So it's a nice kind of freeze frame capture in time.
It looks really soft too.
It's super soft. The focus is great, and the paneling in the car makes for a nice kind of calm and consistent background. So, good work, Chris. It was a great photo.
The soccer goals.
Yep. Then we moved to the park. This one's fine. It doesn't excite me. I'm not like, oh, great photo or anything, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just a soccer goal.
Yep, that's what it is. This photo came out really good.
Yeah.
The first thing that I said to Chris after I saw this photo was, dude, I wish you shot this at a lower aperture, because I really want that like house and that fence in the background gone. I just don't want them in there. And if those had been even just like marginally out of focus.
Yeah.
For a lower depth of field, I feel like this photo would have been 100 times better. That said, I love how like the highlights on you kind of just like jump off of the branch, and you're like, oh, there's a person there, and then you start to see, the longer you look at it, you start to see the figure of the person. The leaves look great. There's awesome shadows. The sky is amazing. The branches from the higher trees are framing the shot nicely. There's so many things I like about it, and I just want this shot at a lower aperture. Yeah, just a little bit in the background, not a ton, but as soon as I see that house and like someone's yard, totally takes me out of the focusing on the photo and kind of ruins the illusion that this is like in a forest.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bug me as much. I really like the tree itself. Like, I mean, I'm in the picture. It's okay of me. But I also really like the shadow underneath the, like, big, I don't know, like, bush on the end of the tree.
Yeah, like the cloud shadow.
The leaves. So that's kind of cool. And, yeah, it gives, like, kind of like a cloud look. And the branch going back, it was, like, very in-depth. So
yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Chris was dying to take a picture of this. In the video, he says, reminds me of home. We're from New York. I don't know why this reminds him of home. I really don't. I mean, the photo's kind of symmetrical, and that's cool, I guess. There's a nice symmetry in it, the keep out sign, and you've got this other sign on the other side to balance it. So there's nice symmetry in there.
It's a little out of focus.
I see
It's funny.
The photo, I just don't get the feeling. Like I want to know, I want to get in his brain and know what he was thinking when he shot this. Because I feel like there's more to it than what I'm explaining right now, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Broken tree.
I love this photo.
It's really in focus.
The only thing that would make this photo better is maybe just a human subject.
Yeah.
Like leaning on the tree or something. But
just to give it a little more.
It definitely, I think this one conveys the feel of the woods that we were in the best. This is where we were, Yeah. It looked like this. It felt like this. Getting kind of chills just looking at it because it was cool, outside, and the leaves and just the trunk of the tree. This is it. This was the shot that I think really said this is where we are right now.
I think too, and like even in the video in like the episode, you showed like behind him, and it looks just like it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
it was just in colored.
It's the camera.
Yeah.
And then he snaps the picture, and it looks like it's still the video.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of going on, and that was the shot. So it was kind of cool. We definitely had almost the same frame there.
Yeah.
And
if I could make anything a little better about it, I'd maybe like make the tree a little more in it.
Yeah, like a little bit more. We could lose some of this on the right over here. It's kind of wasted space, so it could have been centered up a little bit more, but whatever.
Again, it's a good photo.
It's a good photo.
Yeah. It's a little.
Another one. Chris was super excited to shoot, and you and I were just kind of, why?
Did he say it looked like Firewatch?
It looked like, I guess, Firewatch. I think that's the one. Yeah, you mentioned that maybe this looked like Firewatch. Yeah. I think he was seeing the compost manure thing and thinking it was one of those boxes you open up and there's like rope and whatever inside of it in a game. But I don't know.
Yeah, and again,
you missed it, buddy. Sorry, Chris. You have other good ones. Yeah, it's fine. Like this one.
This one a lot.
We disagree. Yeah. I don't dislike it. It's not a bad photo.
I think it's just
some logs. Yeah.
I think it's really cool because the contrast in the logs, like the circles, and you can see all the rings, and I think it's cool that there's just two of them and it's not like a stack of them. So
I didn't notice the rings before. I see where you're coming from on the rings.
And like the weird scratches or I don't know, like from it being cut or something at the bottom of the tree. So
I'll tell you what I want out of this photo. I want Chris to fill the frame more with the subject.
And maybe that's just something he needs to work on.
If it was just the two logs in the frame and then maybe some of the piled logs on the left.
Yeah, just a little
and
more
it just
close.
Filled that frame up
Closer.
with the logs, and I wasn't looking at all these trees and all this grass over here. It's like a third of the photo is trees and grass. Like, show me the logs, show me the rings, all of the things that you mentioned that are great about this photo.
Could have been better closer up.
That's what I want to see. Yeah, show me more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that you mentioned, I do love the rings, and that one does have kind of like a chop mark.
Yeah,
in
and
it.
like the texture on the logs too. I mean, it doesn't show up as much, but
Oh yeah,
it's
like
there,
the barky kind
Yeah,
of texture on the
so
outside. Sure.
It's just kind of cool to look at all the layers.
Definitely.
These ones I liked a lot.
Yep, this is one of my favorites from
Yeah.
when we were taking pictures. Chris saw it and just kind of executed. I almost missed capturing this one while taping because he just shot it so fast. So he definitely saw something. He had a vision and he executed on it, and he came out great. He's better for it.
Definitely.
The composition is wonderful. I think that this
Yeah.
is a great example of a photo that fills the frame with stuff I want to look
Definitely.
at. You know,
Like
even
the
the grass,
leaves
even the
and
grass
then
at the
the
bottom,
grass.
it's like I'm here and those woods are there. It gives you kind of that depth. And then there's what's beyond the woods, and it's just perfect execution. Everything's in focus. No complaints.
Yeah.
It's a really nice
Yeah,
photo.
I like the leaves in the top portion of it too, because they're like, I don't know, it gives that depth because there's like something in focus in the front.
Yeah, and it frames it up for you
and
and pulls you into the
Yeah,
center. You
definitely.
just, you know, you get kind of like that tunnel effect where you just want to
Exactly,
go in. So, yep,
That's nice.
good one.
These are nice too.
Yep, this is another one that I really like. I think were they both in here? No, they weren't
No.
both in here. I really like this one for a lot of the same reasons I like the other one in kind of a different way. This one he obviously
definitely
shot from
darker.
within the woods.
Forest.
He did not expose for the shadows in there, which I think was a good call because I like the silhouettes
Yeah.
and I like the sun peeking through and I like this bright field on the other side. I feel like if it was exposed properly for inside the woods, it would be another flat photo. So
Yeah, definitely.
good on Chris for not doing that. It was a smart decision. I don't know if he made that decision actively.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think me and him struggle a little bit with like apertures and stuff. So
Yeah. Well,
it's just
you know,
something to
once
get, but-
and you were just saying when we just shot episode 5, not to date the show or anything. That'll be out on Sunday. But we just shot episode 5 in Cloverdale, California. And Brianna turned to me and she was like, "I'm actually using the aperture. You know, I'm adjusting it beyond." Because she was shooting all, you know, minimum aperture or all maximum aperture, and she wasn't playing with any settings in between. So I think that's just something. Yeah, when you get more comfortable with what aperture does, it becomes a really useful tool.
Yeah.
You know, besides just letting in more or less light. So
Definitely. But yeah, I think this is a nice photo. Trying to think, I feel like I had something to say about it. Oh, just like the trees look really long and tall, so and you really get that feel of like tall trees. So
yeah, it was a good shot for portrait for sure.
yeah, like they don't even like end in the photo, so you think like, oh, I could just look up really far at these trees. So yeah,
Nice.
aerial view.
What happened here?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. I can't figure it out. If you know, leave us a comment. We'd love to know.
But there's
why?
this weird gray fuzzy.
Why this? Why did this happen? I don't understand. And it's a shame too because it would have been
it looks really nice.
Really nice. It would have been a really nice photo. I mean, even as is, I would have liked. I like looking at it. It's not like I don't hate it.
It kind of looks like a foggy haze.
Yeah, there was just so much more detail in those trees,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
he didn't get it. And it's a disservice to him because he saw this photo and took this really great photo. So, is this a developing thing? Is it a light thing? A lens flare thing? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at enough film to know. But if you guys know, please leave us a comment. Let us know what happened to this photo.
Definitely. Hey.
Rhiannon, what do you think about this one? Do you like how you look in this picture?
I feel like my hair is a little weird, but that's just because I'm judging myself. I think it's fine, though.
Yeah.
I think it was nice that I was wearing all black, and then the benches were lighter.
Yeah.
So I stand out more.
I like how the benches are kind of moving at a diagonal through the frame, too.
Yeah.
Rather than just straight on or, you know, straight from the side. The diagonal benches kind of just adds an element of movement.
Yeah, and like when he was taking the picture, I kind of had like a vision if I was taking the picture, whereas like I would have taken it from straight on, but I had like a more like lower view. Like I would have taken it from like at the height of the benches almost.
Sure.
I don't know. That was just a vision I had, but I think it's a fine picture.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Our
Shadows.
And this
The
one
double
got-
exposure. Yeah, so we got to the end of the roll and apparently we weren't counting correctly, so we double shot our final exposure. This was exposure 36 and then Chris shot another one after that. So you'll see that photo next. I'll actually just show it now. So
Yeah.
These two photos overlapped. The one of the gazebo there, and then that's the rest of the gazebo scenery on the right, and then the shadow picture. It's cool.
I think it's interesting.
It almost would have been. I almost wish the entire frame was double exposed.
Yeah, it would have been different.
It would have been different. It would have looked cool, but I like it for what it is. So
shadows are pretty like focused.
The shadows are pretty focused. There's great texture in the pavement, so that one came out really well. And then the gazebo.
Yeah, and I like the gazebo too. It's just gazebo.
It is a gazebo. Yeah.
But I like that it's in like the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's it. That's the second episode of Critical Capture. Hopefully this was a little easier for you guys to watch. Went a little quicker. Yep. And there's only 2 opinions that need to be blurted out on camera. So, again, we try to provide a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of these photos and give you a little more context into what was happening when they were taken. If you have any comments on any of these photos, please leave them below.
You
Also,
can ask questions, anything, we'll respond.
Yep, and like and subscribe if you want to see more. Let us know as well. We've got critical capture, intelligent capture, video capture, and active capture now. We want to know what you like. Obviously, active capture is the most popular. It's got by far the most views. But we want our channel to be kind of multifaceted. So if you enjoyed this video, let us know so that we know and we can make more for you. Okay?
All right.
Cool. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.